I'm so upset. I don't get upset. I have 2 toddlers. I'm not allowed to be upset. I don't have something snapped. I'm not like that at all.
This is Marisol Best, currently having a breakdown after killing her own in-laws Virgil and Shirley Best. Now this crazy woman will pretend to be a loving wife.
There was blood everywhere, and I turned and I saw my father. That's bullshit, man.
All while her husband is completely unaware that the person hugging him is the same one that robbed him of his parents.
It was either going to be me or them. I'm so mad at myself. I don't do things like this. I hope he doesn't hate me for this. I didn't want to be the reason my husband goes to jail.
On November 11, 2015, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Florida received a panic call. Robert Best, a father of 2 with a checkered past, had arrived at his parents for an early morning prayer, only to discover them both deceased in the living room of their home. And while the early morning prayer may seem like a cover story used as an excuse for discovering the bodies, it actually wasn't. Robert needed a prayer like a pope needs a pulpit, because at 8 a.m. that morning, he was due in court. His parents, Shirley and Virgil Best, were devoutly religious, and wanting to wish their son well, they invited he and his wife Marisol over for coffee and a prayer before they made their way to the courthouse. But given the tragic circumstances, Robert didn't make it into court that day. The situation was distressing enough, but even more so was the fact that his parents' killer was right beside him, and no one was looking in her direction. At least, not yet. The following footage was provided to us by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
If you could, raise your right hand for me. You swear affirm that everything you're about to tell me is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right. We obviously are talking about an incident that occurred this morning with your in-laws. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll kind of talk forward and tell me what you know.
We got there in the morning. We were supposed to have coffee and have a little prayer together. We got there. My husband has long legs, so he was ahead of me. He went into the back, knocked on the door, noticed the door was slightly open. When I didn't hear any response, I kind of stayed back. He went in. I didn't hear anything from him for the next couple of minutes, and he came out crying and told me to stay where I was. Told me. I dialed it. I was going to talk, but he decided to talk since he knows the address better and what happened inside, and I hadn't seen anything. So after that, your boys came in, and I was with the family.
Okay. When did you get home yesterday?
Actually, I dropped off my kids yesterday afternoon. I got home after 8:30, 9 o'clock.
In the evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
My parents live over in Orlando, in Winter Garden.
Okay.
So it's an hour and a half drive.
Okay. So you've been home since 8:30, 9 o'clock the evening before? Didn't go anywhere?
We were going to go up to Walmart to get a couple of things, but we decided not to.
Okay, so you did not go to Walmart?
No. He met me at the end of the driveway, and then we just kind of turned around and came back home because we didn't want to go.
Did he go with you to Orlando yesterday?
No, he stayed home.
Okay.
And he is who?
Robert.
Okay. And was he when you say you met you at the end of the driveway,
Mm-hmm.
were you pulling back in?
Yeah, I was going to go pick him up so we could go to Walmart.
Okay.
Marisol continues her story, describing that the day before the murders, she visited her parents in Winter Garden with her children, then returned home a little after 8 p.m. Robert, wanting to prepare for his court date, stayed at home. But what was his court date for exactly? Well, we'll start with this. He'd have to have said a lot of Hail Marys that morning to even make a dent in the alleged crime. In total, Marisol, the perpetrator, was questioned for less than 10 minutes. Robert, however, didn't get off that easy.
You swear affirm that everything that you're going to tell me is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me how we kind of got here this morning.
I have a court case in Polk County, and my parents had asked if we could stop over on our way this morning, and they wanted to pray with us. And I agreed. So I told them I'd be over there between 6:30, because we would need to leave their house by 7. And I got over there this morning and I saw that they were up, or I thought that they were up because the lights were on. And I walked in to the back patio area, and it's where everybody comes in, and went to the back door and knocked. When I knocked, I noticed the door was partially, cracked open. And I looked and I could see my mom laying on the floor. I pushed the door open and I went to check her to see. And, she was dead and there was blood everywhere. And I turned and I saw my father and I checked him and I just left. I walked back out and told my wife not to come in and handed me the phone. And we waited till the police officer to get there. I called my sister and told her to call my brother and get over there. And the rest of you guys got there and that was it.
Okay. All right. Again, words can't describe how sorry I am for you. So.
It's not how you want to see your parents.
No, I can only imagine.
Police painstakingly go through the timeline with Robert, which is the exact same timeline that Marisol gave them. Yet police have a lot more questions for him.
Can you think of anybody that would want to do harm to your family, your parents?
I cannot imagine anybody. Everybody loves them.
Okay. How was your relationship with them?
It's good. I mean, I was a black sheep of the family. I got in trouble early in life and stuff like that, but I've been, trying to make it up and do right. I got kids now. I have responsibilities and everything, and, they've been very supportive and
Supportive of in what ways?
very supportive, with me with my kids and telling me I'm a good dad and, that I've been doing well and not financially. They won't, they don't go there, but.
They won't give you any money if you need any?
They did. They've helped me out. They've helped me out, once. They don't like to do it. I don't like to ask them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll do they helped my brother when he had his legal case. They
Okay.
put a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars on that. Got the loan, I guess, for him and allowed him to, pay on the loan, but it's their loan.
Are they helping you with yours too?
No.
Did they? No? Okay.
Their help with me was a long time ago whenever they paid my bond. And when they do something big like that for us or whatever, they tell us that's it.
For one time.
It's a one-time shot.
But they said, we did our job, we raised you, and you're an adult now, so. But they understand that, stuff happens and they give you a chance, so.
Had you come to them at all in the past, year or so needing money?
Mhm.
No? Okay. Obviously, we've seen that you've been to prison. What happened there?
Woman scorned basically, but my charges were money laundering, 4 counts of, I think, wire fraud, which basically it was if somebody, in my case, somebody sends you money by wire or whatever, and it was, fraudulent or whatever, that's what they charged me with. It was a woman that I was with, and she was in love with me, and she had a bunch of money, and she sent me money all the time and to start a business. And then I met somebody. She became psychotic. I mean, really, really psychotic. I met somebody. She found out about it and basically she made accusations against me. And then basically whenever I called her and, what's going on? Why would you say that or whatever? She said, well, you got 3 choices. Either give me a chance to make you happy, marry me and give me a chance to make you happy. I'm asking for 12 months. Or, go ahead and, marry this girl because we were engaged. I forgot what there was she said 3 choices and it was basically it was either or she goes, marry her and give her a chance, or go ahead and face these charges or whatever. She was saying basically that she would drop it.
Did you give her her money back? I mean, since you didn't want to be with her, or what?
Well, the thing is, I bought a house. and then she asked me to find her a house, and I actually found her one next door, and she sent the money for that, and I bought the house for her. I actually put the down payment. I hadn't closed on or anything yet because I didn't know, where she wanted to put it in. So it was things like that, She got the forfeiture, she got all that stuff,
That's right, this isn't Robbie's first rodeo in the suspect's seat. In the 1990s, he went to prison in North Carolina for just about every crime you can think of: burglary, arson, and unlawful use of a weapon. While incarcerated, he began writing a blind elderly woman. After coercing her into giving him $1 million, he spent every penny of the money, landing himself in jail yet again. Despite the story you've just heard him tell, the woman wasn't a jilted lover. She was the jilted victim of a scam. After doing that stint in prison, he met Marisol on MySpace, and in 2008, the two got married. Robert was 42, and Marisol, well, she was 23. Maybe that age gap is a bit of a giveaway, but the two weren't doing so hot leading up to this interrogation.
How's everything between you and wife?
It's been strained.
Okay. What's going on there?
She doesn't like to clean, and she just doesn't like to bathe our kids, and herself. It's just been a constant struggle, and it's been a strain with us, and in this case added to it. She's the one that talked me into, what she talked me into is what got me basically in trouble in that case in Bartow.
Okay.
So that kind of added a strain to it, but we love each other. She's my best friend, and
I know he had asked the relationship of everybody. How is your wife's relationship with your parents?
They love her to death. Whenever I told them that I was going to get a divorce and everything, they told me, no, you got to make that work. You need to make it work. It's your baby's mother, and they were very upset over that. And she doesn't like the fact that they're judgmental, and that they're Christian at all. That's been another point of contention with me and her. She just has like an adamant, Christianity's stupid, and sheep and all this kind of stuff. So, but she loved my mom, and my mom loved her, and they talked, and so.
But she was okay with being anti-Christian. She was okay with the praying this morning.
And that's something that my mom. She told me it'll make your mom happy. She's nervous and all this kind of stuff, and it can't hurt. And it's not that she's like anti-Christian. She does believe that there's a God and everything. She just doesn't believe in like the Christian aspect of it. It doesn't have to. You don't have to have one name for God and everything else. There's a higher being and or whatever. She just didn't like the judgmental aspect of organized religion, I guess. But.
Okay. All right.
Both Marisol and Robert allude to the fact that they're considering a divorce, and while Robert claims it's due to Marisol's dislike of married life, it likely has a lot more to do with the charges he's facing.
Would you allow me to look in your phone?
To look in my phone?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Just to look in it. You can always tell me no.
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 I saw what happened with my brother on that.
Oh, I'm not aware. I knew your brother, but I don't.
You can subpoena records and everything else. So there's no.
Yeah.
I learned that from his attorney. So.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, and I want to help you in every way possible. There's nothing in my phone that's going to help you, though.
Okay.
Robert has every right to deny police access to his phone, and in reality, there actually isn't a stitch of evidence on it that will help them solve his parents' murders. However, they still believe he's the one to blame, and with him having missed his court date because of finding his parents that morning, a warrant was issued for his arrest as he sat in the interrogation room. As you can imagine, he and Marisol didn't take that news well.
And I know he talked to him.
I know did too.
The state attorney called my probation officer, tried to get me in
I
trouble.
know.
What do you want me to do? You want me to call jail?
You need to get a hold of that attorney and tell him what the heck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First thing I'll do. You really don't need to be going through this, right?
And some.
Okay.
I want to be with my family. I want to be with my kids.
How could this work out? Do you want me to tell Joe or not?
Well, I mean, let them know that Polk County put a warrant out for me for not showing up, even though the cop said he's called them and told them that they were holding me.
And I was there.
Man.
Yeah, I'll talk to the attorney, see if we can get this worked out quickly. Okay? I'm gonna take your glasses.
No. I want my glasses.
Okay. Okay.
This is such. I swear to God, I cannot believe they did that.
I know. You don't read this today at all. You were supposed to have this cleared out. And I know he called because I was sitting right there. I'll get this fixed up, okay? We'll get to with the family and then go from there. I love you. Okay. Look at me.
Now I get to go through all this. I'm not cooperating anymore with you guys. Not after doing this to me.
Okay.
On today.
Okay. Well, Polk County did this, not us.
Well, it's still. You guys were supposed to make sure that didn't happen, and I was assured that it was going to because I told them I wanted to go.
I know that they know. I know that Polk County knew that you've been with us due to this the whole time. What Polk County decides to do, I don't have any information about what is going on. I don't know what the history of the case is. I don't know anything.
Well, as it is now, I'm not giving permission to search nothing. I don't want none of my stuff, nothing.
Okay.
Robbie.
Okay.
No, this man, of all times, they're gonna shit.
I'll get it fixed up.
They should get it fixed up. They're not the ones that wouldn't let me go.
Surely you heard that. Not only does Robert have a parole officer, but so does Marisol. For what exactly? On the morning of these interrogations, Robert was due in court for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 7-year-old girl from their church. We say allegedly because, as far as we can tell, the charges were dropped, and Robert isn't on the sex offender registry at this time. However, in May of 2015, Marisol was charged and sentenced to 5 years probation for interfering with child custody in relation to that same 19-year-old victim. Allegedly, Marisol picked up the girl from her family home and brought her to her and Robert's apartment, then denied that the girl was there at all when asked by her parents. Weird? Yes. And somehow it gets weirder. At this point in the investigation into the death of Shirley and Virgil Best, it's clear that detectives are laser focused on Robert. In fact, at trial, they would eventually admit that they believed he was behind the murders. That night, while Robert was sitting in a jail cell on a warrant, Marisol asked to speak to police. And what she had to tell them warranted bringing her in for another round of questioning.
I appreciate you being willing to come talk. We've obviously already talked today. And then we were talking a little bit out at the house. I want to read something to you, okay?
Detectives read Marisol her Miranda rights. This time, there's no swear to tell the whole truth, because clearly, Marisol's not too great at that.
We're talking at the house. Talk to me about it.
Which house?
Just now at your house.
Okay, you pulled me aside to talk to me.
Yeah.
Ask me more questions.
I asked you if there was more that you needed to tell me, and you told me that you had gone to the house last night and you had some prayer time.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
I had called Shirley earlier on my way back just to see if I could stop by, have a little prayer session. I did. I went home first just to check on Robert, make sure everything was okay. Called my mother, let her know I was home. I went over to Shirley's house. I wasn't going to go in at first. I was tired, not wanting to deal with anything. But I did go in because they were expecting me. We talked for a good 20-30 minutes. And then I blanked out, honestly.
What happened?
So something must have happened or triggered you to black out.
They were not happy with him. And they haven't been since his mess up with the federal case years ago. They've never forgiven him for it. And the one time that he needed them to be with him, they weren't. None of his family was supportive. And the one person we thought was going to be supportive because he's been through the same thing just backstabbed him.
Who's that?
John.
His brother?
Yeah. He's vindictive. So, I don't know, I just hearing all that negativity and knowing that all he needed right now was family to be with him and support him. Because we're going to trial the next day and he had nobody except me.
What did they say exactly? Do you remember?
They were just disappointed in him. They said that he has no excuse. You know, he's been dealing with this long enough. He should know better. And it's just frustrating because this whole case is crap. It is. And to have family just deny you loyalty is just heartbreaking, especially a family like that that is always so caring and loving.
What happened after that?
I just know I was driving home, called Rob to let him know that I was on my way home. He wanted me to pick him up so we could go to Walmart. I drove down. He met me down the road, and we decided not to go. I was tired. I didn't want to deal with anything. He didn't know what was going on, so he just knew that I was tired. Had gone out to see his mom. That's it. Didn't know anything else.
When you're not quite ready to admit your guilt, there's always an opportunity to bring out the old reliable, the blackout excuse. If you've seen any interrogation, you know that police hear it about 20 times a day. Fortunately for them, Marisol gives up on it pretty quickly.
Did you tell him ever at any point what happened?
I didn't want to do that to him.
Okay.
It was hard enough that he had agreed to go see my parents in the morning, to see his parents in the morning for that prayer and coffee.
Okay. What happened inside the house? Did you guys start yelling and screaming at each other?
No. That's the thing. They were frustrated and pissed off, and I don't know, something snapped. I'm not like that at all.
Do you know what was said that just made you snap?
It's just all so fake.
As far as that?
As far as being religious and, well, it's God's will, whatever happens, and, he doesn't deserve to be going to jail in the first place. And the reason we were in the mess was because we were trying to be better Christians and going to church, taking our kids.
Well, go back to when you get there to meet with Shirley and have prayer time and stuff. What time was it that you got there? Do you remember?
I know. I left the house probably about 9:20. It was probably about 9:30 that I got there, since it's
9:30 at night. Was she? Were they normally up at that time? Or?
They stay up and watch TV. They watch the news and stuff just to relax.
So they expecting you and stuff?
Yeah. Like I said, I had called and talked to her to see if I could come over. I rethunk it when I was driving up there. It's like, man, it's so late. I don't want to bother, But feeling so alone, I was hoping his family could help.
How long did you think you talked for?
Quite a bit, because we talked about everything from Robbie's court to the kids to politics, because that was Virgil's favorite topic. So we were there chatting for a while.
How long do you think a while is? 30 minutes, an hour or more?
Probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm not sure. I'm horrible with time.
How long were they negative, and did they go on with their negativity?
Pretty much the entire time. And I went over to pray with them to get some positivity going. And instead, they just kept shooting him down.
And where was he at this time?
He was at home. And I can vouch for that, and so can Joe. He can vouch for it because I know they were probably playing Diablo or talking on the phone or something. I know that he was home.
Take us back to the moment where you black out. I mean, do you remember anything prior to the blackout point?
No, I just know I was upset. I was frustrated. I had to pee because I had had one of those big sodas from Circle K.
The Polar Pop.
Did you use the bathroom in there?
I did. And I'm telling you, I've never, ever snapped. Ever. I'm
Did
not
you-
that type.
Clearly, Marisol is that type, because if she wasn't, she likely wouldn't have had a gun stashed in the truck for this very occasion.
Did you have a gun on you in there?
It was in the truck.
Did you go back out to the truck?
I guess. I don't, like I said, I don't remember. I know I'm not supposed to have it in the truck, and I had cleaned it out because of my probation. I didn't want to have it in the house at all.
Okay.
So,
Have you
but
ever
Joe,
fired
since
one
it was
before?
Joe's, yeah, I have.
Those
That's the
particular?
thing. No, not those.
Can you describe what it looked like?
They don't look alike to me, honestly, except a revolver. I know what a revolver looks like because it's different in that sense, but they all look pretty much the same.
Was it one of the guns in the bag at the house?
Yeah.
Where was the gun at when you went back out to the truck?
It was in the center console because that's where he keeps it since he has the permit.
Okay.
So-
Was this after all the negativity?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go back inside the house? Did they know that you were going to come back in?
I did. I was going, excuse me, I was gonna go get something from the car since I got my period, so.
Okay.
So basically, you told me you had to go out to the car or something. When you came back in, what happened then?
I went to the bathroom and that's about it. They kept talking to me as I was walking to the bathroom and just more negativity.
Where can you describe where they were at in the house?
They were just sitting on the couch.
Were they both sitting, or was one of them standing, or something
They were
else?
both sitting. As I walked away, they were both sitting. They were watching the news and just chatting.
When you came back in, where were they?
Still on the couch, as far as I remember.
Okay.
Can you,
Where did you put the gun at? Or was it in your pants? Was it in your hand? Was it under your shirt?
Like I said, I just so angry.
Okay. Well, and I understand that. I understand that.
especially when you have an issue where you feel that a family that's that close and religious isn't being loyal to their son in his predicament.
You know,
As we sit here and talk about this and you kind of recollect what happened, do you remember how many times you shot?
I don't. I just remember getting in the car.
Which car was it?
Truck.
Yeah,
Which
but
truck?
which truck was it?
It
There were
was a
two.
Raptor.
It was the Raptor.
It's the only one I can really drive comfortable.
Who was shot first?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
If I could tell you, I would.
Where were you at when you shot? Were you sitting down or standing up or something else?
I just remember coming out of the bathroom. And as I was walking, I said, okay, let's do the prayer. That's about it. I was so frustrated.
Which way did you walk through the living room part, like
Yeah.
where the front door is,
Yeah, well, yeah.
and then
So
they were in the
bathroom.
family room area where the big brown sectional couch was.
Were they both sitting on the sectional couch? Did either one of them get up?
I think Papa got up to do the prayer.
Did he see the gun?
When you brought the gun back inside to go to the bathroom, where did you hide it?
My shirt.
Under your shirt. Anger makes us do crazy things and makes us snap. Stress does that too.
I've never done that. I mean, like I said, it was so not me either.
Well, Marisol, I want your complete story to be told.
Did you talk to Robert about this?
No, he didn't do it.
He doesn't have any clue.
No. I didn't want to tell him. I mean, how do you tell somebody you love and care about something like that?
How did it come about this morning when you guys go there and find them? How did that happen?
He walked up and the door was open.
Yeah, but were you guys had you already planned to go there before he was supposed to go to court?
Yeah. And we had talked about it prior to, me and Ani had talked about it prior to going over there in the evening. She wanted to pray with Robbie, since that was the only thing that she could offer.
Did you stay in the car or did you go up to the door with him this morning?
He beat me out of the car, per usual. So I was lagging behind a little bit.
Were you lagging because you knew what he was going to find?
No, I was just lagging behind. I was extremely exhausted, and I was just lagging behind.
What were you expecting to find when you went there with him?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even look. I didn't want to.
About how many times did you fire the gun?
I don't know. In my head, I could have sworn I did one, but I mean, if it was both of them, then of course more than once. But I don't know.
Who did you point the gun at when you fired the one?
Isn't it just incredible how someone can go from completely blacking out to remembering details in just a matter of minutes? It's almost as if they never blacked out at all. Though Marisol is clearly being selective with what details she miraculously remembers, she's just given one that is incredibly telling. That she told the family it was time to pray after she came into the home with the gun. Meaning this wasn't a moment where she simply flew off the handle, it was planned in a moment of silent prayer. Prayer for her husband, the same man she's accusing his family of demeaning.
Who did you point the gun at when you fired the one?
I think it was Papa. He was the one that was always so much more disappointed.
Was he facing you or was he turned from you?
I think he was facing Ani.
Okay. Did she say anything?
I remember.
Did she get up?
I think her clothes on because of the prayer.
Sorry, I couldn't find any actual tissues, but there's something about it. Marisol, sitting here listening to this, I understand. I can understand the stress and the pressure you've gone through and the feeling of being, with Robbie kind of being left out in the wind by his family and seeing, what happened with his brother and such as that. I don't have a lot of background knowledge of that, but understand a little bit of it. Okay. But the thing is, by listening to you discuss, blacking out and, at least getting the gun from the truck. Okay, I want to believe you, but there's got to be a little bit more in the back of your head that you can remember to clear out Robbie. Because I'm not so sure that he wasn't there.
I'm telling you, Robbie was home. I left him at home. I'm the one that left again. He was at home the entire time. Track his phone calls. He was talking to his attorney most of the time because we were trying to get this all settled up for the next day. So I know he was home. He hadn't left. His bike was still there. The other truck was still cool. It's not like he was there. Trust me, he didn't want to deal with his parents. He was upset at them as much as I was. It's because they refused to be a supportive system for him.
Okay.
He wasn't there. I promise you that.
I'll believe that. Okay. Understand that we've looked at a lot of your tolls. You know what your tolls are, your call logs. Okay. There's an awful lot of phone calls that you make with Robert that are really long, all right, in the same time frame. And understand that if you told Robert, you told Robert. That doesn't make Robert in trouble for anything. Okay.
I didn't tell him. We always talk on the phone a lot, especially when I'm driving long. But honestly, I didn't tell him anything.
Okay.
You didn't say anything to him? Did he know you were meeting his parents?
Yeah, because he heard me talk to his mom. He says, yeah, go ahead. It's good that you want to at least get them involved. I hope he doesn't hate me for this.
Between 9:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m., cell phone records did indicate that 18 calls were exchanged between Robert and Marisol. To this day, there is no evidence that during those calls, Robert was told what had happened to his parents.
What was going through your head when you came out of that bathroom?
Just wanted all this to end.
And how
It was either going to be me or them. And I don't know. I don't know what made me snap and just.
and when you say it was either going to be me or them, are you referring to yourself or shooting them?
Myself. I didn't want to deal with this again. We've been through it before. State attorney. I just didn't want to be the reason that he goes to jail just because I told him to follow his instincts.
Okay. You said that you pointed the gun at Papa first. You shot Papa first.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you remember where you pointed the gun at?
I have no aim.
Okay.
I've never liked guns. I mean, we would shoot out there, but I'd do like one or two and that's it. I don't like
On their
shooting.
property?
Yeah. They all got together and they would go out there and shoot. I don't like it. I've always been more into archery, but can't have anything now considering.
But you obviously know how to use a firearm.
Yes, because they've worked with me and shown me when we were out there just messing around.
Like how to load. Do you know how to load a firearm? Or did they
I
load
know
it
how
for
to
you?
put a clip in. That's about it. Anything else, they just showed me how to get it ready.
I mean, as far as getting it ready, do you mean like racking a slide and chambering a round?
Yeah.
Where did the gun go from there?
From there, went back in the car. I was so scared and nervous. I didn't know what to do.
After it goes in the car, where did it go after that?
I didn't want to take it back home. I didn't want Rob to know anything. I did hide it. I had a plastic bag and put it in there with the other one because, like I said, I'm not supposed to have them at the house. So I had to put him away till Joe got back and he could take him back home with him. You know, he was supposed to take him last time, but he ended up flying home instead of driving home. So
Was that your intention that he was going to maybe take one of the trucks back
yeah,
with the
the
firearms?
Super Duty is his truck.
We go back to, you said that you had your period and you went out. What was the reason that you went out for the truck? Yeah. Okay. Where do you keep your,
In my purse.
okay. How did we go from the purse into the center console?
I don't know. I
Rage.
reached in, yeah. I reached in, and it was, like I said, it was meaning for me more than anything. Because if I was going to do that, I wanted somebody to be able to find me. I didn't want it to be like a time to where I was trying to hide it, you know?
Now, let me ask you this. As you walk out to the truck to go to your purse, and then eventually you get the firearm, had the talk with Virgil and Shirley become negative at that point before you walked
It
out of
was
the house?
negative from the beginning.
Pretty much as soon as you got there?
As soon as I got there, they said, "Hi, how are you?" Asked about the kids. Made sure I dropped them off. And it just started.
Do you remember what they said?
They were just disappointed, always. How Robbie was always a disappointment, and how he couldn't ever do right, and that he's always going to end up leading the same road, and that's why he's in trouble again with this. And it's like, I said, you guys were always so happy because I married him and he's doing better. It's not our fault that we tried to be good Christians and good friends to these people.
Did you have any feeling after you shot them? Was there anything you can remember as far as some sense of feeling or knowing where you were or anything?
I was in the truck freaked out. So I don't even remember doing anything else. I just know I was in the truck freaked out, shaking.
Where did you put the gun right after that?
I think I still threw it in my purse. It was just, I didn't want it near me. Put it in my purse in the back seat.
At any point during this incident with Virgil and Shirley, do you recall getting close enough to actually put the gun against one of them?
I just remember they were doing the prayer.
Explain. Can you show me how they were doing the prayer?
They were just standing up holding hands.
In the family room area where the brown couch is?
Yeah, that's where we were always talking. We don't really go anywhere else unless it's to the kitchen while she's cooking.
There's a big area rug, you know what I'm talking about? And then right above there's a ceiling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Were they in that area standing up holding hands, as you said?
Yeah, I remember them getting up off the couch and wanting to hold my hand, and I didn't want to hold their hand, but they insisted.
Where was the gun at this point?
It was in the back of my shirt.
Did they have their heads bowed and their eyes closed praying?
I want to say yes.
Did they see it coming as far as the gun?
I don't think so.
And can you go
They
back?
expected it from me.
I mean, can you go back to that split second moment and think who might have been shot first?
Like I told him, I think it was Papa. And it's because he was the most negative. I mean, his mom, I expected it. Because she was always so judgmental. But Papa always kind of took his side. I mean, yeah, he was stern. But he always took his side and understood. And when he started talking about how he was always a disappointment to him and all that, it was just... got so upset. I don't get upset. I have 2 toddlers. I'm not allowed to be upset.
Marisol probably should have taken the route she does with her toddlers and put herself in timeout, rather than pulling out a gun. Even someone with 2 toddlers is allowed to be upset, as long as that doesn't involve, killing anyone. And yes, that includes in-laws. Not only was her act clearly premeditated, but the pattern of the shots that took the lives of Shirley and Virgil did in fact prove that they were shot while their heads were bowed in prayer. Essentially, Marisol used the facade of prayer to lower their defenses and literally make them present her with a fatal target.
I want to ask you a couple of questions, all right? And I need you to, Marisol, look at me real quick. I need you to remember, okay? I understand that there's portions that you don't want to remember, but I think that there's a little bit more that you remember that you don't want to remember, and I completely understand that. And as Detective Thomas already told you, we're not still 100% sure that Robbie's not there. I know what you told us. Okay? And I'm hearing what you're telling us. So I want to ask you a couple of real specific questions, okay? I know this is hard. Okay? But there are questions I have to ask and I have to have answers to, okay? What, when you came out, based on what you told me, you came out from the bathroom and they're praying, all right? Were their heads down? Were they holding hands already?
No,
Okay.
no, because I remember saying, I don't know how you guys pray, so let's go ahead and get this done.
You said that to them?
Yeah, because I honestly don't know. Growing up Jehovah's Witness, there's different everything. You know, one church bows their head, one church just lets you keep your head up, or, you know, it's different. So I honestly didn't know how they would do it.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you three questions. All right. And I want answers. I'd like answers to all of them. And I think that once you get it out, it'll be a whole lot easier. All right. Where did you shoot Papa?
Honestly, I don't know. I just remember he was standing there with his head bowed, and I pulled the gun. I don't know where I aimed. I don't know what I hit. I remember that. That's it. I just remember pulling the gun, and I know it was towards Papa. That's it.
Was it towards his chest, or was it towards his head, or was it towards his arm? Or what?
I honestly don't know. I'm 4'11", and everybody else is taller, so I just aimed. I don't know where I aimed. I just pointed. That's it.
Okay. Where did you shoot Ani?
I don't know. I remember.
Where do you think you shot her?
I don't know. I was thinking my arm because she was so close to me, but I don't know. I really don't.
Did you shoot him in the front or in the back? Like in the front, on the front of their body, or on the back of their body, or on the side of their body?
I think Papa was facing me more, whereas Anya was kind of sideways to me.
Okay. You don't? Okay. How many shots do you remember?
I want to say 2. I don't know. 1, 2. I'm honestly, I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
When you said to the side of you, can you stand up for me real quick? So you think you guys were standing up in the center of the room, they want to hold hands and pray? Mm-hmm. So if I'm Ani, and you're obviously you, can you demonstrate how she would be standing to
I think
you?
she was close to me, like she wanted to.
Like almost facing you like this, or turn?
Sideways, like she wanted to be like right next to me.
So if I'm her, she would be like this.
Yeah. Maybe a little more this way. I just know she was kind of wanting to be close.
And then where was Papa?
And Papa's right where you were. He's
Right
not very much into being close.
Can you kind of demonstrate how you would have responded with a gun so we understand? Here's a pen.
I know what you're doing, isn't it? Just
Okay.
having a hard time right now.
I understand. Go ahead. Don't sit on your glasses. Why do you think we're doing this? I'm moving your glasses so you don't sit on them. Why do you think we're doing
You
this?
need the visual. I've learned enough in my years of reading and watching. You just need the visual just to put it all together.
And you're the one that can put it together for us.
It may seem like police are really harping Marisol about details, but it's for good reason. If she can provide them with information that only the killer could know, that would prove that isn't covering for Robert. Every detail she can provide that's accurate is one more seed of doubt sowed against her husband's involvement.
When you walked out, where was Papa laying?
I think I tried to avoid because I think I remember going to the kitchen trying to get out the door.
Okay, did you go out the kitchen door?
It was locked.
Okay. Where was Papa laying?
I think he was over by the TV.
Okay. Where was Ani at?
Couch. Over by the couch.
Okay. Were they on their back, on their side, on their stomachs?
I think Ani was on her side. I didn't pay attention.
Do you know if they were alive or were they moving or anything when you were leaving?
I think that's why I was so scared, because there was no life. There's nothing.
Do you remember if you shot Ani again when she was on the floor?
I don't think so. I wouldn't have a reason to. Just, I don't know. I don't know why I would do another shot at all. I mean, I'm not that great of a shot, but pretty sure something that close range would have, I don't know.
Do you remember putting the gun up to their body at all?
I just remember lifting the gun.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was going to go towards me or to who. I just remembered lifting the gun. That's it.
Was Robbie there at all?
No, I know he wasn't there. Because his parents would have not said any of those negative things, not as bad. Especially saying that they were disappointed in him. They wouldn't have said that.
To his face?
Correct. To me, it's fine, because it's me. To them, he knows that they're disappointed with him, so it's not something they need to say.
So that's why you're saying they wouldn't say it to his face, because he's aware that they feel that way.
And at no point you talked to Robbie about this at all?
I didn't want to.
Okay. Have you told anybody?
No.
Okay.
He knew I was nervous, that's all he knew. And it was because of the next day. I've been crying a whole week.
Breathe.
I'm not like...
I know you're not. I know this is not normal for you.
I've always been the quiet one. I'm the one that listens to everybody. I'm the one trying to help. I don't do things like this. I don't black out. I'm so mad at myself.
Marisol's statement about how Robert's parents were more likely to complain about him to her than to him actually checks out. In fact, according to Robert's family, his parents actually warned Marisol not to marry their son when the two began a relationship. In retrospect, their warning really should have been the other way around.
I wanted to talk to Robert too. Let him know. I didn't want him thinking I was lying to him just out of spite.
if you could tell the family what happened, what would you say? Or Robert?
Robert's completely different. Because I'd be terrified of losing him and my children. I just tell him that I was needing to do it for me, and I don't know what took over me.
What do you think Robbie's going to think of this?
I don't know. I really don't. That's what scares me. I don't want to lose. That's my best friend.
I can't imagine what it must feel like as a spouse to have parents talk negatively about their own child, especially about my spouse.
It's not that they hated him, they were just so disappointed and never got over things that he's already apologized for and done time for. Yeah, he even said that him meeting me was the best thing because he's changed for the better. And then it's just, this happens and it all reverts. It's like he knew again. And he could sense it since the first day that we told him that he got in trouble for this. It's like everything's changed. His family's changed with us. The only ones that he has conversations with is his cousins. Because even his brother and sister have kind of outcasted us. I don't know. Just trying to protect him, I guess. One way or another, he would have been protected.
Are you trying to protect him now?
No. I know he wasn't there. He had nothing to do with this at all. I can promise you that 100%. I'm just scared of the disappointment that he'll have with me when he finds out. Should have been me. Who could have avoided all this?
The divide between the Best family was undeniable. When questioned by a local news station, Robert's sister told them he's a con artist, basically. Everything he does is a little fishy. His brother, the former cop, added that he was a habitual liar, saying, "He talks. We hear him, but we don't listen." That's a 1-star review if I've ever heard one.
No, because now's your time to say whatever you want to say.
Just want to apologize. Karma's at me. You know I will. I know they'll never forgive me. I didn't expect them to. Just hope they don't outcast my kids for it. I hope they don't outcast Robbie for it.
There's some cases where forgiveness comes and some cases where forgiveness goes.
I know that's what they want.
Well, that's not yours to worry about. What's yours to worry about is forgiving yourself.
Never will. It was my family.
Is there anything else that you want to say? Okay. Do you have anything in your pockets or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, we're going to conclude the interview and I'm going to walk with you next door, okay? You can take your body as well.
Do I get to see Joe? Just as part of everything?
I told you I would let you see Joe. It's 6:32 and this is going to conclude the interview.
Ultimately, despite the fact that Robert was the center point of law enforcement's initial investigation, he was found to have no involvement in the murder of his parents. Regardless, at the time of his wife's sentencing, neither of his siblings had had any contact with him. Marisol, on the other hand, was sentenced to life in prison for 2 counts of murder.